welcome to NTA News Top Table. You're just in time for an hour and a half of news and reviews from all corners of the nation. Tonight from Turkey with business, as President Muhammadu Buhari hosts Turkish President Tayyip Recep Erdogan. The leaders consult on areas of mutual interest as key sector collaborations are initiated. A match that went south and SARS 1 year after, the debris of foray still scattered on the ground. Federal government engages citizens on equitable distribution of infrastructure. 2 new regulatory agencies activated under the PIA, plus a state promoting its agricultural produce for exports. These and many more on our lineup. You know, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Umaruba, and this is News Extra. You're welcome. Nigeria and the Republic of Turkey have resolved to deepen and expand the long-lasting relations between the two countries in various fields for enhanced benefits to their people and economies. This came to light after the high-level bilateral engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and the Turkish leader, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, in Abuja. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports.
This is the third formal engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and his Turkish counterpart in the last 5 years. The first was in Abuja in the year 2016 and the second in Ankara a year later. President Erdogan is accompanied on the latest visit by a high-powered delegation, including his wife, to reflect the robust, warm and cordial relations with President Buhari and indeed Nigeria. The two leaders therefore met behind closed doors for almost an hour, critically analyzing all aspects and dimensions of the relationship between the two countries. This is with regards to what have been accomplished so far, as well as areas that require improvement for enhanced socio-economic benefits. At a news briefing shortly after, President Erdogan told journalists that he and President Muhammadu Buhari shared the same resolve of taking the relationship between the two countries to the next level on the basis of win-win scenario and mutual respect.
Üretim merkezi konumundaki Nijerya ile
Nigeria holds the position, the manufacturing position of the entire continent, and our trade volume between the two nations reached $2 billion last year. Thus, Nigeria became our most outstanding and the biggest trade partner in the sub-Saharan Africa for the Republic of Turkey. But however, we still believe that this level we have achieved is far from being adequate. We hope and pray that we will be expanding our trade volume up to $5 billion immediately.
And to further contribute to the economic and social development of the African continent on the basis of equal partnership for peace and stability, a Turkey-Africa summit, President Erdogan said, is scheduled to hold in December this year.
stratejik ortaklık.
As Turkey, we have been closely monitoring the developments unfolding in Nigeria, in our brotherly and friendly nation. The terrorist organizations, the armed gangs, and the marine bandits are continuously active in Nigeria, and the Nigerian authorities are continuously fighting against them. So in order to cooperate further in the fields of military, defense, and security, we are doing everything that will be available. We are ready to share our capabilities, ever-expanding capabilities as the Republic of Turkey with Nigeria, especially in the field of defense industry and security, which are being praised by the entire globe.
During the visit, the Turkish leader commiserated with Nigeria over the loss suffered as a result of the recent attack by bandits in Goronyo, Sokoto State. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, 7 major agreements and memoranda of understanding have been signed between Nigeria and the Republic of Turkey. These include energy, defense, industry, mining, and hydrocarbons. The agreement signing ceremony was the high point of the 2-day visit to Nigeria by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of the Republic of Turkey. Again, State House correspondent Adam Musambo has that.
President Muhammadu Buhari and the Turkish leader Recep Tayyip Erdogan led their respective countries' delegations to the high-level talks where the major agreements and memoranda of understanding were finalized. Consequently, 3 agreements and 4 MOUs were signed by the representatives of the 2 countries. These include agreements on the avoidance of double taxation with respect to taxes and income, defense industry cooperation, as well as cooperation in the field of sports. The Memorandum of Understanding were on the establishment of mechanisms for political consultations, as well as in the fields of mining, energy, and hydrocarbons.
Already we export like 1 billion scoff of gas to Turkey every year. They want to increase that. Also, we are trying to sign a government-to-government agreement with them to supply them 15,000 barrels of crude oil every day. So they are really looking to Nigeria for their energy requirements.
The one that affects my ministry is the one to deal with renewable energy, which Turkey government has excelled in that field. So, and as you know, it is the way to go. We want to diversify and move more to the renewable energy, that is the solar, the hydro, and things like that. It is not only Turkey that is going to help us along. They are also looking for areas we can assist them.
President Muhammadu Buhari described the agreements entered into between the 2 countries as critical to their socio-economic growth and development.
We have agreed that implementation is to commence immediately, aimed at strengthening this cordial relationship between Nigeria and Turkey. In the course of our discussions, we also reviewed the travel ban list based on the revised COVID-19 protocols and removed Turkey from Nigeria's travel ban list. Turkey has indeed achieved remarkable success in addressing the COVID-19 pandemic.
President Buhari said the Turkish leaders meeting with a joint session of the Nigeria and Turkish Chamber of Commerce and Industry will go a long way in pushing ahead the socio-economic ties between Nigeria and Turkey.
I commend Your Excellency for your leadership and generosity in receiving and accommodating 4 million refugees fleeing from conflict areas, particularly in Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan. You have indeed set an example to the rest of the world.
A state luncheon was later held by the nation's first family in honor of President Erdogan and his wife, as well as members of the Turkish delegation in demonstration of Nigeria's hospitality. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In another development, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeni Adebayo, and the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture have called on Turkish nationals and business owners to invest and increase their investments in the country. The request was made at a bilateral business forum between the 2 countries. Benny Adams reports.
As global economy looks to recover and fast from the effects of the pandemic on the economy, President Recep Erdogan of Turkey is on an African economic and business tour, meeting leaders and investors from Angola to Togo and now in Nigeria.
Turkey shares its experiences and expertise in value addition initiatives in key areas like agriculture, energy, industry, and infrastructure.
Trade between Turkey and Africa has grown from $5.5 billion in 2003 to more than $25.3 billion by 2020, in spite of the pandemic. And this engagement here is looking to explore emerging opportunities in agriculture, healthcare, ICT, and the financial services sector, in addition to opportunities in the new regional free trade zone, that is the AfCFTA. And on the flip side, Nigeria also has much to gain.
The robust trade relations between Nigeria and Turkey have been mainly in the areas of oil and liquefied natural gas, LNG. As we encourage the trade in this sector by seeking further investment, we are working aggressively to diversify our economy and we also seek to diversify the areas of focus of our bilateral trade relationship.
From the Nigeria-Turkey Business Forum in Abuja, I am Benny Adams.
NTA News.
Thank you, Benny. With the visit of President Erdogan, Nigeria and Turkey seem to be making strategic approach to development cooperation to reflect first and foremost how the two nations can address the paradox of being rich countries with a lot of potential, especially in the long term, but with limited mutual gains for decades. Foreign Desk correspondent Usman Aliu reports.
With good leadership, the enterprising people and resources, Nigeria shines in the eyes of the world. Turkey, one of Nigeria's biggest trade partners, wants to expand trade relations established for decades. Now the two countries are making commitments to increase the capacity of their engagements for the benefits of their people. The commitments, which are part of the proceeds of achievements of the diplomatic shuttle by President Buhari that culminated to many bilateral agreements to grow the economy, create needed social cohesion, as well as develop Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Nigeria and Turkey also need each other to support their people with more of export and import of resources in agriculture and commerce, technology and skills to explore for infrastructure and human development. Just like Nigeria deals with security challenges, Turkey also fights domestic terrorists threatening her territory and has been handling more than 5 million refugees in the country. And so ideas they exchange at this reciprocal visit is viewed as something worth reckoning to make their bond stronger in their membership at other global organizations like the United Nations, Organization of Islamic Countries, and D8 Countries Bloc. Usman Aliu, NTA News.
The First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, has received her counterpart, the Turkish First Lady, who accompanied her husband on a state visit to Nigeria. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports that issues of mutual benefits, such as education of the girl child, took center stage during their meeting.
Receiving the Turkish First Lady Emine Erdogan, who is visiting Nigeria for the second time since the beginning of the present administration, the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, expressed optimism that the visit is a step towards securing the future of the Nigerian women, youth and children as the cardinal objective of the First Lady through the Aisha Buhari Foundation and Future Assured program towards complementing the effort of government for the betterment of the country. The meeting, which held behind closed doors, the First Lady said, will go a long way in strengthening the existing relations between Nigeria and Turkey through their individual foundations, especially towards improving the health, education, and the general well-being of women and children.
I really appreciate her visit, and the visit will extend or strengthen the good relationship between Turkey and Nigeria.
The Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari and that of Turkey Emine Erdogan reaffirmed to continue to be working in synergy in other areas of mutual benefit such as education of girl child, domestic violence, as well as maternal, child and adolescent health. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on Science and Technology has urged the Nigerian Building and Research Institute to channel its 2022 budget to checking recurring cases of building collapse in Nigeria. This was part of the committee's recommendations when the institute defended its 2022 appropriations bill. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Management of the Nigerian Building and Research Institute was among the first set of agencies to appear before the Senate Committee on Science and Technology. Director General of the Institute, Professor Samson Duna, presented its 2022 budget of 31.8 billion naira, with research and development to receive 3.1 billion. The Senate Committee wants this reflected in the quality of building and road construction in Nigeria.
What is killing our road is that most of our designs and the load is not based on the design. The design loads are so high that it is not be able to carry the load like a very big truck that is coming up. Request you to do more research and development that will ensure more affordable, durable housing, eradicate man-made factors of building collapses, such as the one recorded on Monday, 18th October 2021 in Lagos.
To see that we get good quality, very cheap feeder roads so that we can try to move away from these expensive asphalt roads.
The committee advised the institute to shore up its internally generated revenue and develop local alternative to bitumen, as it also scrutinized the 2022 budgets of Shida Science and Technology Complex and that of the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion.
To ensure that every single kobo that is budgeted is utilized appropriately, judiciously, for the benefit of our nation.
Meanwhile, President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan has laid the foundation for the construction of the National Assembly Service Commission Office Complex at the National Assembly.
At inception in 2010, the construction cost of the project was estimated at 2.5 billion naira. But as of today, the cost of the project is 11.65 billion naira.
The FCT and the FCDA to immediately conclude all the procedures and processes for awarding the contract for the rehabilitation of the National Assembly Complex.
Since its establishment in 2000, the Commission has been operating in a rented, unconducive office complex. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The nation's security architecture is gaining more momentum in the containment of terrorism and other high-profile crimes threatening public peace in parts of the country. This is coming as Nigeria strengthens its military relations with Netherlands on the implementation of National Action Plan on Preventive and Counter-Violence Extremism. Abakar Usman Akwanga reports.
This is a third strategic engagement of the National Action Plan on Preventive and Counter-Violence Extremism, designed to increase capacity response of Nigeria against terrorist attack.
Resilience against violent extremism perpetrated by terrorists. So the whole essence is to equip our members of the steering committee to be conversant with the various factors which is driving violent extremism in the country, and the various ways government is trying to address it.
It's in the communities where the activities take place. It's in the communities where people get radicalized. It's in the communities where, when they get radicalized, violent extremist actions take place.
Implemented in synergy with the government of Netherlands, the aim is to initiate measures towards the elimination of remnants of Boko Haram under the Partnering for Safe Community project.
Boko Haram has reduced tremendously over the last 15 years. So there's certain programs, very specific programs that target communities, that target potential members and those who feel attracted. And so there's a lot of those programs that have been implemented.
The collaboration is also to explore and strengthen more bilateral partnerships that will strengthen security for the economic benefit of the two countries. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
The federal government has reiterated its commitment to the equitable distribution of infrastructural facilities and social amenities across the country. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, gave the indication at a two-day workshop on integrating strategic partnership with critical stakeholders and advocacy on balanced development organized by Federal Character Commission in Abuja. Oluseyi Adiagbo has details.
Provision of infrastructural facilities in Nigeria is one of the cardinal objectives of the Buhari administration, which explains the dedication of a large chunk of the national budget to this cause. It is for the actualization of fairness and equitable development in this regard that the Federal Character Commission is engaging heads of ministries, departments and agencies at this workshop, a sensitization on integrating strategic partnership, which is expected to instill a sense of belonging among the citizenry. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, is here represented by the Permanent Secretary, General Services, Dr. Maurice Mbari.
The Commission should, after these deliberations, move to action and commence in earnest the monitoring of projects across all sectors in order to ensure fairness in the distribution.
The workshop will endeavor to bring into discourse as central terms the cardinal ideas of representative democracy, balancing development, equitable deliberations, and opportunities structural balance.
In putting the framework for the actualization of the tenet of the spread of infrastructure, the Commission will soon commence a nationwide infrastructure audit for all ongoing and abandoned projects in all regions with a view to ascertain and verify its importance and level of completion.
The two-day workshop is featuring discussions on topical issues revolving around constitutional mandate of Federal Character Commission and national stability. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Coming up in the part 2 of News Extra, the End SARS phenomenon, 1 year after amidst peaceful memorials. Stay with us for the sights and sounds in parts of the country right after this time out.
Everybody wants to glow. Nobody wants party love. Everybody wants joy, yeah. Who don't like it better? And if you wanna talk to money, if you wanna talk your credit, if you wanna run online, yo. If you want plenty data, if you wanna go do one more 7, he says 7. Let me hear you say this super number. 7. Boy, is it like they no get you wahala? 7. When you use the code, it be like you in a lotto. 7. Let me hear you say this super number.
The whole sensational world of love, now accessible through one code, *777#.
The federal government, through NPHCDA, commenced Phase 2 vaccination of all persons 18 years and above with safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines approved by WHO and certified by NAFDAC. Special arrangement has been made for staff, their dependents and retirees of ministries, departments and agencies of government, private corporate organizations and non-governmental organizations. To benefit from this special arrangement, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng/corporate vaccination/ to obtain, fill and submit the Google form. NPHCDA will contact you within 48 hours. Protect yourself, your family and your workplace against COVID-19. COVID-19 vaccines are free, safe and effective. For further inquiries, call 0700-220-1122 or send a mail to covid19.vaccination@nphcda.gov.ng. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Enjoy faster connectivity and amazing discounts in the Airtel HBB seasonal offer. Get a MiFi for 9,999 Naira plus up to 55 GB data, or a router for 19,999 Naira plus up to 160 GB data. Offer valid while stock lasts. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Against all odds, the 5th Senate under Senator Kent Nnamani's leadership preserved our sovereignty and stood by the Nigerian people.
Protecting legislative due process.
A book, Standing Strong, by Senator Kent Nnamani, chronicles an undiluted account of the botched third-term bid, the plots, the intrigues, the scheming, the debate, the vote, and the gavel.
Standing strong is very central to our requirement for institutional integrity and national consciousness.
The book, Standing Strong, Legislative Reforms, Third Term and Other Issues of the 5th Senate, will be publicly presented on the 21st of October 2021 at the Africa Hall, International Conference Center, Abuja. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Special guest of honor, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Chairman of the occasion, Retired General T.Y. Danjuma, GCON. Chief host, the Governor of Yobe State. Chairman, APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Committee, His Excellency me, Maimala Buni. Co-host, Governor of Imo State, His Excellency, Senator Hope Uzodinma. Book unveiling, Honorable Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, CON. Book reviewer, Professor Adebayo Williams. Chief presenter, Sir Dr. Emeka Ofo. For reservations and inquiries, call 0803-933-2373 and 0813-936-9777. Right Honorable SMA Eibo, Chairman, Planning Committee, Announcer.
I remember then when they asked me, oh, what do you want to do in future? I always say I want to be a newscaster.
There are a lot of times I've told Trust that I don't believe you can't see.
Trust is always ready to do something extra. He's always coming out to say, can I do a bit more?
My mind was, where will this stop? How can I be going with a blind child from this age? How will I cope? He will always come to me, Mommy, I know I can't see, but don't bother, Mommy.
My wife now said, let him just go to village and relax. As they were going, he had accident. And the one that Trust was following, I lost the boy in the accident. When the scholarship came, it's as if they put water on a dry pot. That's how our joy was bubbling. If not, I don't know whether Trust could have graduated with his colleagues.
Life is a journey. You have to make that journey work.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has restated that the claimed massacre of Nigerians during the nationwide mass protest against police brutality was false. The minister stated this at a media briefing tagged Phantom Massacre in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
Those alleging a massacre to present evidence, there has been none.
The Information and Culture Minister, who was emphatic about the role being played by the acclaimed world news leader, cable news network CNN's narrative about the protest, said it is obvious that the news channel has thrown courtesy to the wind and broadcasting fake news because it couldn't substantiate its claims and is rather recycling video clips obtained from unverifiable sources.
In its latest attempt to grasp at straws and redeem whatever is left of its better credibility on this issue, CNN has continued with its baseless reports that soldiers shot at protesters. In a report currently running on the network, CNN brazenly and unashamedly held on to its flawed narrative, relying on unidentified mother whose son was reportedly shot dead at Lekki, but without any convincing evidence of who shot him dead.
Amnesty International is equally not spared of the guilt.
Amnesty International, CNN, and runaway DJ and others like them should apologize for misleading the world that there was a massacre at the Lekki toll gate, and for portraying the Nigerian military, police, and other security agencies in bad light.
The minister said the National Economic Council, which comprises all state governors and headed by the Vice President, has already addressed all issues relating to the SARS protests. He noted that out of 28 states, 11 have submitted their final reports to the Council, while other state governors have also assured that their reports will be ready soon. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Now, the adage that says violence breeds no good is apt in describing the aftermath of the SARS protests last year, October, which degenerated into wanton destruction. 1 year after the incident, the affected infrastructure are still begging for attention. In all these, has the police and the public, especially the youths, reached a point of better understanding? Well, Michael Olalesoth answers.
It is October, a year after a protest against police brutality turned violent and destructive, and Lagos, the commercial nerve center of Nigeria, is yet to recover from the trauma. What started as an online campaign in response to alleged cases of police brutality across the country metamorphosed to a structured protest, though carnival-like in some instances. As a people with one song. This particular spot at the Lekki toll gate was one of the areas of convergence, with tentacles fast stretching across the nooks and crannies of Nigeria until the protest was hijacked by hoodlums, became a free-for-all, and the rest is history.
I believe there are genuine concerns regarding police brutality. I believe so. However, I also believe that there were others who had a political motivation, and that political motivation may have affected the protest itself.
Public facilities were burned and property looted in a wanton destruction, which the Lagos state government says required an estimated 1 trillion naira to rebuild.
Unfortunately, it's undoing the remaining structures that we could utilize. You remember after the SARS, it became very difficult to report a case at the police station or even see the responses of the police in petty issues that could create destabilized civilian entities.
Beyond this, the alleged shooting at the Lekki toll gate became a subject matter even till date, but the positives derivable from here is that a judicial panel of inquiry was set up to listen to agitations and compensate accordingly.
Nobody builds a house and destroys his own house. He that lives in a glass house, do not throw stone. So that's just it. So who loses? That is why I said it is still every one of us that lost.
1 year down the lane, business owners like Nkechi Olise are still finding their footing to return to normal, as our only window of hope that would have been provided by the Lagos state government is not forthcoming. The protest has left more pains than gains, scars and tears. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
The SARS 1-year anniversary rally was tagged peacefully in most parts of the country, with the presence of security personnel to prevent hoodlums from hijacking it. Francis Fong compiled reports from various states.
From Akure, the Ondo State capital, Doris Olumoko reports that some youths are commemorating the 1-year anniversary of SARS protest in a peaceful manner.
What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Justice. They are working on that, but from whichever way that the government wants to do it, because these are legitimate demands.
Similarly, Simon Asha reports from Yola, the Adamawa State capital, that the SARS 1-year anniversary rally was staged peacefully with calls for more jobs creation.
We need a flourishing nation. We need a nation with job employment.
In Benin, Joy Egbo reports that the SARS rally was also held in the state.
Officer that was found wanting should be prosecuted. Those that are recommended for compensation should be given compensation.
From Ekiti, Ayodeji Ogunshakin reports that the situation was calm in the state, with security men on ground to ensure orderliness. Francis from NTA News.
No nation, no matter how wealthy, can achieve sustainable development without peace. It's against this backdrop that the Bongom Jos, that Jacob Gyang Buba, is calling on Plateau citizens to work towards peace in the land for meaningful development. Caleb Goshin reports that the royal father was speaking in Jos during his 70th birthday celebration.
Bongom, while addressing the crowd that came to celebrate with him, expressed worries about the conduct of some people, which has continued to militate against the achievement of peace in some parts of the country. He challenged everyone to embark on self-evaluation and to make amends for the sake of humanity and the land.
All those who believe in God Almighty to step back and assess yourself, because nobody is going to restore peace on the plateau or in Nigeria unless we ourselves desire peace.
We are going to establish a dialogue and create a conversation, and those conversations will now allow us to manage system.
I will call on governments, traditional rulers, and all in authority to always insist on law and order according to the constitution of the land. Believe me, if this is done, peace is achievable.
It is in demonstration of the Bongom's commitment to peace and unity of the people that he honored some personalities, including the Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, with chieftaincy titles.
We will continue to work assiduously to protect and project the tradition and culture of the chiefdom in particular and Plateau State at large.
They all prayed for an end to all forms of insecurity. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTN News.
Ending the war against insurgency and other forms of crimes in the country can be achieved faster than envisaged with the effective deployment and utilization of mapping and geospatial technology. These key players are the 42nd International Workshop of the Nigeria Cartographic Association in Lagos said will enhance imaginary analysis and interpretation. Michael Olale has that.
During the old medieval period, there is no conquest without a well-detailed map offering guidance and precision. Although a lot has evolved accumulating to this era, but the place of map and geospatial technology still remain indispensable to unearthing hidden treasures. This forum is therefore advocating effective mapping for enhanced national security, managing the COVID-19 pandemic, and offering direction for good governance. Stakeholders here want the country to complement the use of GPS and satellite imaging with well-structured mapping to track activities of banditry, kidnapping, and monitor vaccine distribution.
Thus, a lot of maps to produce that can show where the killers, the kidnappers, the bandits have come from.
They are used. What we are saying is enhance the production of these things and also create geospatial intelligent communities so that people will also pick maps, anybody can pick map and read it and also use it for effective development in areas.
On its part, the Armed Forces is strengthening its various geospatial centers to intensify its aggressive combat against insurgency.
These centers are all fully operational with the capabilities to carry out the production of maps, imagery analysis, imagery interpretation, and signal intelligence.
The Nigerian Cartographic Association convened this workshop to re-echo the importance of practitioners to national development.
Unless we use the right caliber of trained professionals, we may not be able to do so much in actually achieving geospatial transformation.
Key players in the industry were especially recognized for their contributions, including Professor Lanyin Kabalogun. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
From Lagos, let's head to Kaduna. Kaduna State is winning the war against banditry as 220 bandits have been neutralized from January to date. This is part of the quarterly security report presented to the state government, which also indicated that 830 people were kidnapped in the past 3 months. Haruna Mohammed reports.
With all the critical stakeholders in attendance, the Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, presented the facts and figures on the security breaches from 1st of July to 30th September. A total of 343 persons died due to banditry and communal clashes. 50 of the victims are women and 20 minors.
During patrols and operations, 101 persons were rescued by troops and personnel in the period under review.
Many state governments in the Northwest and North Central have adopted an unconventional approach to help the security agencies to better protect our communities. In our own case, we have about 900 trained and vetted vigilante personnel working with the security agencies. However, we still observe that there is no alternative to launching simultaneous operations in all states.
The security report also reveals that 210 persons were injured across the state due to violence, attack, and reprisal. The state government says it will sustain commitment to ending the security challenges, but solicit the support of public for useful information that will assist the personnel. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
What kind of leadership should Nigeria have? This is a question as old as the amalgamation itself, but given current trends, it has become even more pertinent.
I'm not too sure that we are emotionally and economically ready to practice the type of presidential system we are practicing. Because a situation where people are, everybody is talking about money. And most of them are people who have nothing else to do. They tend to be professional politicians, very desperate, and they do desperate things.
Former President of the Senate, Ken Nnamani, bears his mind on leadership governance and his new book, Standing Strong.
In most states, the House of Assembly is a department in Government House. Where did they pass the budget? Where did they debate it? How? Do they have the courage to do that? If they're sent away, what will they be eating? You remember, it's time for us to chop.
Watch out for the full interview on Friday at 10:30 p.m. on NTA Network. When we return from this next break that beckons, 2 new regulatory agencies take effect under the Petroleum Industry Act. Are you one of those who cut down trees illegally? Well, the custodians of the national park are wielding the big stick now more than ever. Hang in there for the full gist of these and more shortly. Please stay.
Each journey has its purpose and tells a story. We are here to redefine yours. At Ibom Air, we are poised to bring game-changing, innovative services to you because our people are passionate, our partners are committed, and our energy is high. Fly Ibom Air to experience schedule reliability, on-time departures, and excellent services. Ibom Air, a new experience.
Oh my God, which medication are you giving this baby?
Medication? I have given him all sorts.
Have you given him Bona Babe?
Bona Babe?
Yes, Bona Babe.
Naturally, babies cannot speak. All they do is cry whenever they're sick. And you know, a happy baby makes a happy mother. When your baby is going through aches, fever or pains, allergic cough, including discomfort associated with teething pains, treat your baby with Bona Babe syrup. Bona Babe is manufactured by Bond Chemical Industries Limited, makers of Bond Paracetamol. Bona Babe syrup contains paracetamol and chlorpheniramine, available in pharmacies near you. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please consult your doctor.
I'll use it for you when you are a baby.
Thank you, Grandma.
It's winning energy. Milo Active Go. With the goodness of malts, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Looking fresh for your date? Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh.
Protected and fresh. Protected and fresh.
Let's take a picture.
Protected and fresh.
Still fresh, still protected.
Feeling cool and protected.
All day confidence to get close.
Oh yeah, take the Close Up shot. Close.
New Close Up Triple Fresh formula.
He's falling sick so frequently, either fever or stomachache. I keep him away from junk food.
She also feeds me apples. She says an apple a day keeps.
If you want to keep germs away, then also wash your hands regularly with Dettol soap.
Meaning?
Germs and disease spread through the hand also. For this, use Dettol soap. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol sure.
Take this, Mom. You will need it.
My tongue is craving something. I know just what it is. Twisco. That's my favorite.
Twisco chocolate drink powder is a unique blend of cocoa, milk, and malt fortified with Enofort, a special blend of vitamins and minerals that helps give kids the vitality they need for an action-packed day.
Mommy, let me go.
Twisco, power your dream.
Whoa, how hot is she?
Very hot.
Pick me, just pick me, baby. Come pick me, girl. Man, I'm all ready for you.
So tasty.
He's so lucky.
Mini-Me, taste the fun.
Two entertaining sides will be looking to get the results when they meet at Ellen Road. Who will come out on top? This Saturday, it's Leeds United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA, Silverbird Television and Sporty.com from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Welcome back. The two new regulatory agencies brought on board by the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority and the Nigerian Upstream Regulatory Commission have taken effect, with the new chief executive officers assuming duty in Abuja. Lydia Sampson reports.
It is a rare occurrence for ministers to accompany newly appointed chief executive officers to assume office. To douse the tension and anxiety of staff of the three agencies strapped by the Petroleum Industry Act, the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Timi Silva, embarked on an interface to the three agencies, and his message was clear that staff shouldn't panic because the law protects them all.
It is normal that at junctions like this, there are anxieties, and that is why I thought I should come by myself, along with the permanent secretary, to assure you that this is a very normal transition. The law is very clear also on the position of the staff of the DPR, of PEF, and of PPPRW. No job is to be lost in this process. No remuneration is to be lost in this process.
The minister also says his interface with staff is to ensure a seamless transition and to assure stakeholders like NATO that their commitment and liabilities with the Petroleum Equalization Fund is covered by the Act, which will continue with the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, as well as the Nigerian Upstream Regulatory Commission. Representatives of staff of the former agencies committed to supporting the new leadership succeed.
It is increasingly becoming very obvious to Nigerians that, Mr. President, this administration and your good self, sir, will go down, will be recorded in history of the oil and gas industry as key enablers of transformation.
The two CEOs, NPRA Chief Executive Officer Farouk Ahmed and Upstream Commission Chief Executive Officer Gbenga Komolafe, both seasoned oil and gas technocrats, have made history as the first CEOs of the new agencies of the PIE. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
In another development, the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, says efforts are being intensified to enhance efficiency and financial stability in the banking system. To this end, a 3-day capacity building workshop for finance correspondents is underway in Ibadan. Shola Wahid completes the report.
The aim of the workshop is to educate finance correspondents on current developments in financial sector with a view to ensuring stability and sustainability of same. Managing Director of NDIC, Bello Adan, explained that the corporation will continue to discharge its statutory duties of supervising banks, protecting depositors' funds, fostering monetary stability, among others, while the facilitator stressed the importance of synergy between relevant stakeholders to enhance a viral banking system.
For deposit insurance, for us to maximize or to drive the maximum benefit, we really need to get the knowledge of deposit insurance to permeate through the banking community, because that is the only way we can get the benefit. So that is the whole idea of bringing the journalists or finance correspondents to this seminar, so that we can just inform them about the activities of the NDIC and also the broader financial system.
Will ensure that no one entity will drag others into financial difficulties.
The theme for 2021 FICA workshop is Enduring Extreme Disruption, Resilience and Reinnovation for Banking System Stability and Deposit Insurance. In Ibadan, Shola Wahid, NTA News.
Global economic performance is said to be weighing the chances of many countries, forcing them to look inward and develop strategies for food sufficiency and greater market prospect for commodities with comparative value. Abakar Usman Akwango reports that this informed the basis of analysis for the utilization of the Nigeria agricultural potential as the 2021 World Food Day comes into focus on NTA Tuesday Live.
The narrative of Nigeria's agricultural history is better told in a fashion that explains the fall of the sector and the rise of the crude oil as mainstay of the Nigerian economy. Now, as the world marks 2021 Food Day, attention for paradigm shift is on massive production for sustainability, export value, and wealth creation.
While giving kudos to this government for bringing agriculture to the front burner, and indeed the ban on certain food items that we could produce in Nigeria is a welcome development, and we must give it to President Muhammadu Buhari for that singular action.
Stakeholders say Nigeria's renewed vigor in shaping the future of agriculture through positive initiatives is an investment that is worth the pains.
We recently approved mechanization program under the Federal Ministry of Agri and under the Green Imperative program, which is basically to sustain agricultural production in the country.
It is important that the farmers are taught to embrace good agricultural practice, that they should not put chemicals that will interfere with the quality of the food.
As hopes remain high for the potential of the agricultural sector to once again drive the economy, key players say it is only critical for citizens to embrace a new dawn of revolution that is making greater impact in the sector. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Thank you, Abakar. And let's head to Gombe, where it is said that not fewer than 150 local agricultural companies from Gombe are expected to be promoted to international standard, courtesy of the state government and the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. This is one of the objectives set to be achieved by a 2-day practical training for producers of agricultural commodities. Abbas Mekano reports.
These are prospective exporters, high-level businessmen and representatives of various relevant government agencies who gathered to actualize the Gombe state dream of becoming the leading state in the export of agricultural commodities, not only in the northeast but in the entire country. The training is to, among other things, expose farmers to basic requirements in production of exportable food and cash crops and how to access the federal government's Export Development Fund.
It has been set aside 200 billion from the Central Bank to Exim Bank, that this money is there for them to develop the sector and finance any export activities. So if we be able to create the indigenous exporters from this zone, definitely it will make the economy, it will boost the economy of the state and create direct and indirect jobs.
Governor Muhammad Yahya believes it is better to teach the people how to catch a fish than giving it to them.
They are not exposed to international trade, and we've realized that if we can develop the value chain along production, processing, and exporting, we will improve on the economy, not only of Gombe State, but of the Federation. That is why we organize this seminar, in order to enlighten our people, and align them with the Export Promotion Council so that they will know the processes involved.
Gombe State is blessed with fertile arable land favorable for crops like soybeans, cowpeas, hibiscus flower cases, groundnut, cotton, and sesame, to mention but few. In Gombe, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
And in Duse, it is a dream come true for farmers, making 3 rounds of harvest in 1 year, courtesy of the federal government and World Bank supported multi-billion-naira gravity irrigation projects being executed in Hadija and Kazauri local government areas, with about 10,000 hectares of cultivable irrigation farmland in 2 project sites. Rice farming is becoming the biggest employer of labor in Jigawa State, and Mohammed Musa Askira tells us more.
Farming is a business in Jigawa State, with youth constituting the larger percentage of those fully engaged all year round in this activity as their means of livelihood. Besides boosting food production, agriculture as a sector continues to attract practitioners, including graduates and civil servants, as it cuts rural-urban migration. Between 2015 and 2020, President Muhammadu Buhari administration has completed several dams and is still in the process of trimming several river basins to enhance groundwater supply for rain-fed agriculture and surface water for irrigation farming. These projects, apart from improving agricultural practice, has also improved access to potable water to additional 12.5 million Nigerians across states where the projects are being implemented.
The trimming project, the dredging of Hadija River Valley has supported a lot the farmers and has support in preventing flooding this year.
So by controlling the grass, you are by extension curtailing the effect of the quail birds that have been disturbing the farmers.
As one of the beneficiaries of this federal government's agricultural intervention, Jigawa State now boasts of hundreds of farmers smiling home with millions of naira at each harvesting season.
About 75% of our farmlands have been destroyed yearly by the flood, but this project has now recovered the land for us. This project has opened up farmland and grazing areas for herders.
For now, the federal government and the World Bank supported trimming project has entered its final stage, expected to clear the unwanted taifa grass from the water channels and expand the space for more farmers to be part of these goodies associated with irrigation farming that will make Nigeria a proud food-sufficient nation. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Amazing. Human actions such as deforestation is giving rise to climate change, which is impacting negatively on human lives and the environment. And so the National Park says it will not be business as usual for people who engage in illegal logging activities in the country. Salah Khalil Ibrahim tells us more.
A clean, safe, healthy and sustainable environment is the foundation of human life. Yet, some Nigerians are unaware of their actions and its effect to the environment, such as deforestation. Adama is a firewood vendor, a business she depends on to support her family. The source of the firewood is of no concern to her, she says. She is one among many Nigerians who depend on this alternative source of energy, most of which are gotten through illegitimate means, especially now with the rise in the cost of cooking gas. But the National Park Service is joining forces with stakeholders to raise awareness on the effect of illegal logging in the country.
If forests are cleared or even disturbed, they release carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases which will be harmful to the environment and humans as well. Nigeria and Nigerians will be the victims of the activities of these illegal loggers. This is why we are encouraging the state governments to look at the degraded areas of land and invite these people, give them this land, plot of land, provide them with the seedlings, let them plant these degraded lands and have their own forest plantation.
Ensuring that even our communities have a safe environment to live on.
The service says this is a call to action for all citizens to take the responsibility of protecting the ecosystem for generations to come. Salwa Kalal Ibrahim, NTA News.
And away from that, the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum says its planned October 30 National Elective Convention date remains sacrosanct. Chairman of the Forum and Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambol, disclosed this after meeting with the party's convention organizing committee chaired by the Governor of Adamawa State, Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The PDP Governors Forum meeting was to take briefings from the party's convention organizing committee under the chairmanship of Governor Ahmadu Fintiri of Adamawa State, as well as the zoning committee chaired by the Governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwanyi. Held behind closed doors, the consensus chairmanship candidate of the North, Dr. Yochi Ayu, and the consensus national secretary candidate of the South, Senator Sam Anyanwu, also met with the forum.
We are very grateful to the Convention Planning Committee and all other subcommittees for the work they are doing. And we are optimistic that PDP is going to come out more united from this convention and much more ready to provide the necessary and desired platform upon which very many Nigerians can realize their aspiration, and we shall continue to deepen our democracy and work together as democrats for the greater Nigeria.
The PDP, in another development, has commenced screening of aspirants vying for various national offices for the 2021 National Convention. The screening subcommittee is chaired by former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Bello Aduke, SAN.
We cannot afford to fail. We are conscious of the expectation of the members of our party, especially the aspirants to the various positions.
He promised the committee's fairness to all aspirants, stressing that members comprise committed and loyal party members set to discharge their assignment without fear or favor. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Drivers trend in our next segment. A tale of the patriot on one hand and those who make things difficult for other road users on the other hand. These and more in just a moment. Please stay.
All washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1 sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty.
I'll spread my wings and fly so high. I'll reach for the stars, yeah, it's time.
Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
This na the story of Pekin, wey rise to the max. Rain or shine, it not settle for less. Na the story of small boy we get big talent. Wait o, e be like say na the story of one man wey fall, but we bounce back in style.
Osimhen, wetin dey motivate you? I want dey big, special and great.
Watching us live from Big Brother House Studio.
Joy for Osimhen, his teammates are chuffed as well.
Make we enjoy Max Entertainment together.
Sports or movies, telenovela or cartoon, music or reality TV. With just 6,900 naira, you fit get your Go TV decoder plus 1 month Max subscription. Make you enjoy over 75 channels with for Go TV Max. Make you and your special ones enjoy better things on Max levels. Go TV, love it.
Two entertaining sides will be looking to get the results when they meet at Ellen Road. Who will come out on top? This Saturday, it's Leeds United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA, Silverbird Television and Sporty.com from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Thanks for being there. Packaging, to a large extent, drives sales. Some use it to market their products. One of such products is Nigeria. Abdullahi Mohammed met a passionate Nigerian who lays on the tray the love he has for Nigeria. Take a look.
It's not just like any other taxi. It is a cab with a driver passionate about his motherland and the reflection of that patriotism in every corner of his vehicle. The green, white, green flag flying with pride. Inside the cab, Nigeria's coat of arms in style, with all shiny green on the 4 doors. A unique reception for passengers and a replica of the uniqueness of Nigeria and its people in the reception of visitors and those in search of reprieve. Posing for the cameras is the cab driver, his outfit unique with a touch of green and white. But why will a cab driver go this extra mile to express so much love for his country?
Like I said earlier, I don't have another country to go. Let me say, for example, if I want to leave this country today, I still need Nigeria passport, international, federal Republic of Nigeria. So my country is my country. Government, our country, they are not the same thing. Government is just like a driver that drives the country. If this is going wrong in the country, it doesn't mean I will abuse my country. I use negative word to speak against my country. It's an abomination to me. As a Nigeria firstborn, I cherish my country so much. Because I'm very proud of where I come from. I'm a pure African, I'm made in Nigeria.
Nigerologist, as he called himself, may have all the indications of love for this country written all over him from head to toe. And his vehicle also is telling the same story. But you may also find out that from ordinary Nigerians on the streets of Abuja, the same story goes.
A random take on a number of young Nigerians send a message of hope and commitment to the project Nigeria.
Are you a patriotic Nigerian?
Yeah, I'm a patriotic citizen.
Why do you say so?
Because I love my country.
And the way where the country is moving, I appreciate the federal government of Nigeria.
Are you in any way frustrated about the circumstance we found ourselves in Nigeria?
Somehow, but the present government is trying their best to curb all these problems.
Even those who saw yesterday have confidence on the new breed.
All these boys, all these young men, I'm telling you, our children, none of them is up to 40. And yet, they are doing wonderful things in the world.
At 6-1, Nigeria has seen the good, bad, and the ugly. But the next page, when it say, is a blow of bliss. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
Sure, Abdullahi, one Nigeria and Niger for life in our local parlance. The indiscriminate parking to pick and drop passengers on strategic roads of Abuja has been a source of worry to many traffic regulators, described the attitude as unacceptable. Abdullahi Ajay takes a look at the situation that has continued to elicit public outcry as a result of its attendant consequences on other road users.
The culture of indiscipline being perpetrated on the roads in the nation's capital, Abuja, either at the point of commuting or alighting, is one issue that has continued to give authorities concern.
It is the desire of everyone who uses the road to get to his or her destination safely and timely. However, certain behavioral attitudes of motorists, particularly commercial drivers, violates laid-down rules and regulations of road usage. A situation that often calls for concerns, leading to crashes, gridlock and obstruction of free flow of traffic. The Highway Code specifies the do's and don'ts on the road while driving, but often violated by drivers.
People not parking, and they are still parking. They have created a park for us there. When we enter the park, the passengers are not agreed to enter the park.
See VIOs, you see road safety, you see police, but sometimes you think it's like they are not here to conduct their work.
By the Abuja Road Master Plan design, strategic roads were constructed with motor parks and designated bus stops or terminals. But the recalcitrance among the motorists often create chaotic road scenarios and gridlock, which have continued unchecked.
We're also enforcing their vehicles are being impounded and brought to the office, and then appropriate penalties are being paid.
These nuisances are everywhere. We have to agree with that. But that doesn't take away the fact that on our own fact too, our men are everywhere.
Areas like the popular Nyanya Mararaba, Lokogoma area, Airport Road, among others, are some of the locations for this unwholesome practice.
Well, the unpalatable situation around some of these locations where we have found such indiscipline is mostly tied to what they call a shared blame on the part of the motorists and also the commuters, whom often will not always go to designated terminals or bus stops, but will prefer coming to stand by the roadside to board vehicles.
Acceptable practice on the road was suggested for all motorists to always maintain with appropriate sanctions meted to defaulters. Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Rivers naturally are endowed with a number of resources, which as veritable sources have sustained the local economy over the years. A visit to the river connecting Abia and Rivers State, popularly known as Imo River, shows how fishing and local dredging of sand are sustaining the local economy. Joy Uzo has the details.
This is a bridge connecting Rivers and Abia states. Beneath this bridge is a river. It used to be a major hub for fishing activities. But interaction with indigenes of the area indicates that fishing activities is at its lowest ebb because of the activities of oil exploration and all that. Seas, lagoons and rivers crisscross the Niger Delta region, and these sustain the local economy through fishing, sand dredging, among other activities. Chelsea Sam, a fisherman at Imo River who caught a big fish in the early hours of the day, noted that fishing was a viable business before activities of oil exploration that is damaging the ecosystem.
Sometimes the fisherman used to get 3, 4, sometimes 5. Yeah.
So this fish, now how much is this fish?
This one will last 25,000. Business is not going because there's no road. We are dying. Big men are not coming. Look at what we are seeing. Tipper, bus, trailer, that's what we are seeing here. You can't see a big man passing here.
Need employment so we can be able to buy more drones and buy more nets to set and catch the better fish.
Local sand dredging is another activity at the Imo River where divers, middlemen and buyers make bricks money. The sands are of different category, ranging from sharp sand to plastering sand as well as molding sand, and they all have varying prices that is dependent on the choice of the buyer.
This plastic sand are supposed to collect is supposed to something that's start within 30,000 naira before. But now they are cleaning it for bucket for the any one.
which I want to call like 3 buckets. They are not saying about 25,000 before the transportation, 15,000 naira. You see that thing is go up to 40,000 naira.
We have been doing it successfully, but immediately the dredger people came. So it has been a challenge. The impact is having now is that because there are few people that go, so those people that manage to go for us, they will not hide the price.
Apart from farming, fishing and sand dredging are the major occupation of the people at the Imo River. However, contemporary realities are affecting these local means of livelihood in the area, necessitating the need for government support to sustain the local economy. From Imo River, I am Joy Uzo, NTA News.
And ahead of the conference of the parties on climate change in Glasgow, the United Nations says the world must take concrete actions to discontinue investments in coal and fossil fuels to achieve net zero targets by 2050. In view of current economy's realities in Africa, however, experts including the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries believe that for no one to be left behind in the transition to renewable energy, the principle of respective capabilities must be applied for African nations to transit at a convenient pace. Orange Fine Face reports.
Data from the United Nations pegs the cost of closing the global energy access gap at $35 billion a year for electricity and $25 billion a year for clean cooking. Now, this is in addition to rapidly decarbonizing the energy systems by scaling solar power to 630 gigawatts and wind energy to 390 gigawatts added annual capacity. For these to make the needed impact in cutting down carbon emissions, there is a greater caveat for the world to stop new investments in coal, oil and gas production.
There is no reason for countries or investors to finance new fossil fuel exploration, licensing, or production infrastructure. These will become stranded assets.
The just concluded United Nations General Assembly had some world leaders making commitments to this effect, while the high-level dialogue on energy came up with a compact of key players pledging to scale renewables.
Solar and wind capacity must triple by 2030. And no new coal plants must be built after 2021.
With expected cumulative oil-related investments amounting to $11.8 trillion in 2021 to 2045 period, OPEC sees a glowing future for the oil and gas industry, which it says cannot be jettisoned.
Any talk of regulatory or financial sanctions on companies investing in oil and gas projects in Africa is wrong-headed. If this came to pass, it would do little to reduce emissions and sentence billions of people to energy poverty in perpetuity.
Nigeria is positioning herself to be part of, to reap from that abundant opportunity.
Professor Magnus Honoa is on the roster of experts on quality assurance for the UNFCCC. He believes that net zero by 2050 is feasible. But Nigeria and indeed Africa may require a little more time to complete the transition.
Beyond 2050, 2060 or 2070 can be ideal for developing nations because of the fact that you don't rule out the fact that oil and gas is still relevant within the present energy mix.
COP26, it says, is an opportunity for Nigeria and sister developing nations to negotiate feasible scale and timing for a transition that is responsive to their special needs and circumstances. On Nengie Fine Face, NTNews.
Over the last 4 years, farmers and communities have benefited from borehole water scheme and irrigation infrastructure of the 8 River Basin Development Authority established across the country. One of them is the Benin-Owena River Basin Development Authority. Eugenia Indebisi, who visited some communities in Delta and Edo states, reports that this development has improved Nigerians' access to potable water and a boost to irrigation farming.
The basin has a catchment area that spans over 4 states, Edo, Ondo, Ekiti, and Delta North Senatorial District of Delta State. For the past 4 years, the basin has installed 2 center pivot irrigation systems, which irrigate about 240 hectares of farmlands that are predominantly for growing rice in Eliabu Irrigation Farm. Though NTA News could not reach farmers who have harvested their produce in parts of the vast hectare of land, some who cultivate long-duration rice seedlings and depend largely on flood water for their seedlings to yield, said absence of this year's flood affected them.
Na water no for. That rice it does spoil. So then I don't get any money I put. Nothing.
You look this right now, grass no supposed to cover it like this. They don't spray chemical tire safe. See the little one where it come out of inside.
Quantity of water this thing needs is for the place to be flooded, not just even putting small water. Things are changing. You can't predict the weather again.
To the Managing Director, Bini Owena River Basin Development Authority, Salihu Ahmed, the authority reactivated a lot of its moribund ventures and set up integrated farms where some youth undergo training on irrigation farming technique.
Most of what we've done in terms of water supply has been by drilling boreholes in a number of communities. Precisely 203 communities have benefited from our borehole water schemes.
Despite challenge of land encroachment by host communities, Mr. Salihu Ahmed believes it can do more as it has the capacity to deliver on its major irrigation scheme and provision of water supply to the populace in its domain, in line with the federal government agenda. In Benin, Eugenia Ndubisi, NTA News.
In the meantime, rural dwellers in Ogun State have described the federal government, Ogun State and donor agencies' partnership for expanded water supply, sanitation and hygiene (PWASH) as a lifetime opportunity for people living in the rural areas to access potable water supply with ease and improve sanitation and hygiene. Lekon Ambode reports that the multi-sectoral approach project covers 16 local government areas of Ogun State.
Accessing healthy and portable water for the people, especially those in the rural community, had hitherto been a nightmare, as many had to travel miles to get water, while villages depend largely on streams, rivers, and other doubtful sources where hygiene cannot be guaranteed. However, the federal government, state and donor agencies PWASH has brought relief to the people living in the rural areas, as they now have access to portable water supply through the provision of boreholes in their communities.
It gives us a greater relief from what we have been experiencing for the fetching of water. We have been fetching well water before.
Ogun State is one of the first 2 states in the Federation to key into the partnership by signing an MOU with the federal government and other donor agencies in 2018.
And we are also doing renovation and rehabilitation of Iboro water works and relaying of new water pipes between Joga, Iboro and Imasain. In totality now, both the collaboration from the federal and state government, if you look at the figure, the number now, we have 96 number covered by the federal government, we have 63 covered by federal government. We're having about 158 to 160 number of borehole facilities cut across 8 LGAs now so far.
The rural communities in Ogun State are expressing gratitude to the federal government for the huge investment project, which they say is geared towards achieving SDGs target for water supply, sanitation and hygiene. Sanitation and Hygiene Committee in each of the selected local government areas to oversee the operations of the scheme for its sustainability. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbode, NTA News.
So far, so good. We take our final break, after which we bring you a bit of sports.
And get as it be. We define work, but sometimes even the package, no gree package, it frustrates. But with Trophy Lager beer and your honorables, we go help you package, everything fits balance. Even when everything no gree balance, your honorables go still stand by you. Whether na night or day, no matter the condition, your honorables go still stand by you. So that when the package don't finally set, everybody safe go gree. But no forget your honorables, the ones we stand by you. Now them must stay when you won't lick mouth. Because now who stand by you be your honorable.
Two entertaining sides will be looking to get the results when they meet at Ellen Road. Who will come out on top? This Saturday, it's Leeds United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA, Silverbird Television and Sporty.com from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
Next is sports with Kene Ima Abudike.
All is set for the 2020